I can't believe we're on to S5 already. Whoa. So for S5, you're going to need this sheet. You're also going to need a scissors and you're going to need some glue. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to cut out our finger puppets and we need to cut out the barn. When we're cutting out the barn, it's so important that we cut along the black line and we only cut the yellow line on the barn door. We don't cut the blue. That's very important. When we're cutting out the finger puppets, you can stay along the black line, the outside line, so that you can see some of the sky in the background behind your finger puppet. Or if you think you'll be able for it, you can cut along the black line on the inside. I'll show you that in a minute. Let's cut out the barn first. So what I want you to do is, remember when we were holding our scissors and we're holding the paper, we've got our thumb on the top. I want you to cut a line down the middle so that it separates the finger puppets from the barn. We're going to put our finger puppets over here and we're going to get our barn first. So I really want you to concentrate to stay on that black line, making sure your helper hand is doing a very good job at turning the paper. So go nice and carefully. You're doing a fantastic job. Making sure helper hand is turning the page. Little snips. That's what's important. Make sure you're turning it when you need to do those little edges. Super. Now what I want you to do is, you're going to have a little bit of extra white part along the ground. We're going to cut along that bottom line as well, to cut that part off, just like that. Okay, now we need to cut along the yellow line, okay? So we're going to cut up the middle first, and then we're going to turn the paper so our helper hand can hold the inside of the barn door, and we're going to cut along that line. And make sure you stop at the end, okay? Then we're going to turn it around, and we're going to cut the other yellow line, but make sure you stop at the end. So for this part, we have this cut out. Now we need to fold back along the blue line. So that means that the barn door is going to fold inwards. Now for this, I got to use my two hands. So I'm going to turn the barn over so the white part is facing up. We're going to get one of the barn doors and we're going to fold it back. Be very gentle so that you don't tear the barn door. And then you got to use your index finger to smooth it out along the blue line. Now let's turn it over to the other side. Get the barn door, bend it back, and then smooth it out with your finger again along that blue line. Then what I want you to do, because they're bent back like that, you're going to bend them back in a little bit so that they're standing up when you have them on the table like that. So when I pick it up, my barn doors help my barn to stand up, because this is where we're going to have our puppet show. So I'm going to put the barn over here out of our way for a minute, and we're going to get our finger puppets. So we're going to pick up our scissors. There is a black thick outside line around the outside of our farm animal. If you want, you could cut on this line. If you want it to be a bit trickier, you can cut on the inside line just around the farm animal, but it is a bit tricky. So let's cut out our first one, which is the chick. So we're going to go along the black line, making sure helper hand is turning the page for you. Little snips. Excellent. Little snips all the way around. Just try your best. Some of this cutting is a little bit tricky, but the more you practice it, the easier it definitely gets. So keep cutting until you've got your finger puppet ready, okay? So what I want you to do is, I want you to cut out your two other finger puppets, and when you have them cut out, I want you to press play again on this video. So pause it now and press play when you have everything cut out, and I will show you how to make our finger puppets and how to do a puppet show. I'll see you in a second. Okay, now that you have your 3 finger puppets cut out, we are ready to move on to the next part. So I want you to pick 1 finger puppet first, and you're going to lay it down on the table so that you can only see the white part. I want you to pick one of your fingers and you're going to lay it in the middle of the finger puppet like that. Wrap one side around and then wrap the other one on top of it so that it's nice and tight around your finger, just like that, okay? So when I put it back down, this time what I want you to do is, if it's way too long when you were doing it, you can get your scissors and you can just trim a small part off, cut a small part off the sides if you need to. Then I want you to get your glue and you're going to put glue on one side, okay? Lots of glue on one side so that when you put your finger down and you wrap one side around, put the side with the glue on top of it, wrap it around nice and tight, and then push the glue in place. Then it should wrap around your finger just like that, and you have got your finger puppet, woohoo, already. So I'm going to take my first finger puppet off so that I can make my other 2. So I had too much here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim on both sides, just a little bit on both sides, not too much. And I'm going to do the same on my last one. Just trim the sides just a little bit. So just like we did with the cow, we're going to put our finger down in the middle, but this time we're going to get the glue. We're going to put glue on one side, put our finger back in, lift it up, wrap it around your finger, and then wrap the glue part on the top. That's really important, or else you're going to have glue all over your finger. So wrap it around nice and tight. Perfect. He's in place. Now you can take it off. It shouldn't be so tight that you shouldn't be able to take it off. And then I'm going to put that one over there. Let's see if they can stand up beside each other. Oh, there we go. And now I'm going to get my last one, which is my chick. So I'm going to put my glue on one side. I'm going to put my finger in the middle, wrap one side around, and then wrap the glue on top of it to hold it into place. And then we've got our 3 finger puppets just like that. Okay, so I'm going to keep my chick on my finger and I'm going to show you by bringing in the barn to this. You want to bring it to the side of the table, meaning that you can go on this side with your finger puppet, okay? So that you can see it. So we're going to have our barn here and I'm going to put my other finger puppets on. So they're on my fingers like this. So the 3 friends have come into the barn today. I wonder what their news is. Hey, Cara the cow. I've got a really funny joke to tell you. Yeah, what is it? What do you call a sleeping bull? I don't know that one. A bulldozer. That's hilarious. So have fun with your finger puppets and come up with a great puppet show, and I'll see you in the next activity.